Hi, I'm Ahmed Awais, coach and founder of Agile 7, where I help Agilists achieve their unlimited potential and get better at their craft. So today I want to share a story. A couple of years ago, I attended All Things Open conference in Raleigh, North Carolina, and one of the signatories, one of the authors of the Agile Manifesto, Andy Hunt, he said something interesting. I guess he was trying to be controversial, or maybe not. I mean, Andy's really lovable. I think he's definitely top of his craft, but he has a dislike for bad Agile and bad Scrum. And a lot of bad Agile BS that's out there. So the story here is I was sitting here in his 20th anniversary celebration of his book, Pragmatic Programmer, and he said something, oh yeah, those guys, Scrum Masters, what are their skills? They have a CSM and can fog up on work. So I was taken aback by that, but I can see why many people have a bad opinion about Scrum Masters. And for those who don't know, Scrum Master, Agile coaches, they are relatively newer roles. These are the people who are not necessarily in the craft of the actual work, the software development or whatever they're creating, but rather they're the experts. They're the craftsmen of the way of working. Now it gets a little meta, and obviously the point of this video is not to go into the meta part, but perhaps I'll drop some links in there for those who are interested in what these titles and what they do, and you can look them up. So the point back there is why is a Scrum Master such a role that is looked down upon by many people who are not Scrum Masters or Agile coaches. So this is interesting. I think part of it is truth. So I have interviewed a lot of Agile coaches and Scrum Masters, and many of them sound a little fishy, to be honest. But others, man, they are worth their weight in gold. So the ones that are fishy, what happens with them? You ask them, oh, so you're a Scrum Master. So tell me more about how you applied. Says, oh yeah, I've taken that 2 day class. I said, yes, and how do you actually use it? Oh no, I just took that 2 day class. And they're not really able to substantiate it through actual work. Or worse yet, you'll find that some people say, well, I just open up Jira and I run the meeting in the morning. And I ask them, like, okay, so what do you do for the rest of the day? What type of team development? What type of coaching in the moment you're doing? What type of improvement plans do you have? How do you engage with the team? And it's usually coming up, oh yeah, no Excel file work because there's a lot of dual headers. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. So it's as if being better at the Scrum Master craft or Agile coach craft, or if you're doing Kanban, is kind of an afterthought. And Scrum Alliance, to be honest, is a renewal problem. Many people get their Scrum Mastery because the organization has decided to go agile, and everybody goes through this massed waves of training. And I akin these 2 day trainings, the Certified Scrum Master, Certified Scrum Product Owner trainings, which cost $1,500, $1,000 to $1,500 if you go on your own. If you have a master service agreement from your enterprise, it's much cheaper, and that's why it makes commercial sense. But once you go through that, it's like going through a car wash. You're filled with ideas, and you come out shiny, but then right next day it's going to get dirty. So you better have some way to reinforce. How are you practicing that craft? And that's where I start to go into the tips, which is like, so hey, I love new people coming in from diverse backgrounds, amazing places, but you gotta practice. You gotta find places to practice in your home, in your current work situation. How are you helping teams plan? How are you thinking about cadences? How are you thinking about improvements? How are you doing retrospectives? So important to have retrospectives. So, how are you doing that? Gain some experience. Go shadow somebody if you can. Go get involved with the community. And sooner or later, you'll be able to find out because the ideas are so simple, but they're hard to master. And it shows when you come for an interview. Now, I don't want to discourage people who have like other degrees who don't come from technical backgrounds never to come into this field. No, actually, Jeff Sutherland, he says that yes, people who have technical background, they usually have an edge becoming a Scrum Master only if they have the right type of attitude. With a terrible attitude, even that's not an advantage. One of the best Scrum Masters that Jeff Sutherland has mentioned in a conference, in a session he was holding, he said, and he highly recommends this person. She has a background in music, and she has no technical background, but she's one of the best Scrum Masters that Scrum Inc. has ever had. And the reason is that she can really read the room. and you can look at the team dynamics and help them work through issues. So, so the meaning there is something about this craft too. So yes, it's also going through a commoditization cycle where like, okay, oh, this guy's a Java developer, this person knows AWS. Now, what do I do with Joe? Really doesn't have real skills. Well, let's put him in a CSM class and see if something better comes out of it. Well, if luck would have it, your company is paying for your training, great. Now you got to make a decision. Do you want to go deep into this get this craft? Then you got to take action, and that's important. So that's the lesson I have. So my call to arms usually is what happens after CSM, and the people I coach, the people I train. I'm very focused on getting them developed and finding their niche, because there's a lot of paths you can take, and you can really shine in that, and you can separate yourself from all the average and mediocrity that's out there. Find a mentor, find a coach, go practice with somebody, get engaged with the community. The world of Agile is just starting, and there is so much to cover. Yes, Agile is not the only way. It's currently the best way to have a futuristic work environment. Nobody wants to work with an old style, old thinking, old type of organization. And this is the modern workplace. So again, if you are one of those who have a certified Scrum Master certificate, or you're looking into it, that's just the starting point. The world is wide open, but it only gets better when you practice. So that is all from me. I'm always available to connect. Reach out to me at my website, agile-7.com, and I'll drop some links.